This is probably one of the best compilations of Brian Windhorst himself, exposing LeBron James for stacking his teams, refusing to be an underdog, feeling uncomfortable being an underdog, and basically being scared of actually competing against even or better opponents. Let's talk about it. So, as always, I was browsing the internet and kind of scouring for some news coming out and seeing what's going on and things like that. And I found a clip which seems to be a compilation of multiple NBA veterans, Brian Windhorst, and others talking about LeBron James and exposing him for what he has been through the last 23 years of his career. A front runner, quits when things get tough. As soon as a team has his number and he sees he can't compete, he just runs to another team and stacks his team again and things like that. And this clip describes LeBron in such a beautiful and exact way of how he has conducted himself throughout his career and how he went about creating the super teams that he had created and how he tried to avoid true competition as best as he possibly could to simply every year, whenever he could, stack the deck in his favor so he can get a title. He's been doing it for 23 years, and he's been so bad at it. He barely succeeded 4 of those 23 years to actually win a championship. I want you to watch this clip, watch it, listen to it, and enjoy it for what it is because it's unbelievably well made.
But the thing about it is, he's not comfortable being an underdog. It's not something he's done very often in his career, and he really doesn't like it when a team has his number.
Front runners, meaning when things are going great, we all in it.
I mean, he's changed teams in the past a couple of times when he's felt another team has his number.
When things are going bad, they pull apart.
When the Celtics had his number, he went to Miami. When the Warriors had his number, he went to LA.
LeBron has stacked his teams. Let's be realistic.
The Nuggets have had the Lakers' number. What's his move? He doesn't really have a move.
Playing with so many guys. He's the guy who has led the charge in terms of super teams being put together.
Yeah. Does he want all the good players? He don't want to compete. He's got to have all the best players on his team. He want everybody. He don't want to compete. He want to be the favorite all the time. It just pisses me off that a guy that great don't want to compete.
It's no way that, just hindsight, I would have never, called up Larry, called up Magic and say, hey, let's get together and play on one team. I mean, that's, in all honesty, I was trying to beat those guys. I don't know if they would have been on my team, if we'd been on our team. Obviously, when you look at the Dream Team, they were on my team, and it wasn't too much of a competitive thing. I'm a competitive guy, and, I like to play against competitive players and, see what happens from there.
He's not comfortable being an underdog. It's not something he's done very often in his career, and he really doesn't like it when a team has his number.
Coward.
That last statement, coward, is exactly what it should be. So many people loving this guy can't simply wrap their head around that everything he's done is his career after this first stint in Cleveland has been simply to cheat the system, to stack his teams, and to put himself in a position to be the favorite to win. I've said this many, many times. In his first stint with the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think it was 7 years, I respected the guy. I rooted for the guy. I liked him as a player. Do you know why? He was on the same trajectory that Michael Jordan was at in the beginning of his career. He lost multiple years. He was, sometimes not able to beat his opponents, but he was close. And he was an underdog, and he was fighting, and he was trying to get better, and he was trying to run through that wall and finally break through. And that's what it looked like for LeBron James during his first stint with the Cleveland Cavaliers. His whole legacy, his whole outlook for me as an NBA and a real basketball loving fan turned right when he made the decision to simply quit, run, and go to Miami and team up with a top 5 power forward at the time in the NBA of Chris Bosh. The dude was averaging like 23 or 26 points, whatever it might have been, and like 10 or 11 boards. And a top 5 point guard, two guard in the NBA in Dwayne Wade. He went to a team that had 2 unbelievably good players, joined them, and still left a stinker in 2011 in the NBA Finals, and gave an excuse afterwards that his mental state just wasn't there because there was so much backlash for him, leaving Cleveland and going to Miami, and he was struggling with it all season because he was the villain and all that stuff. And Rich Paul described that, and he told him, you can't be the villain because you're just not that kind of guy. You're not going to win like this. You got to get back to being yourself, all that kind of stuff. When we look at Michael Jordan and compare Michael Jordan's legacy to LeBron James's legacy, Michael Jordan played in 6 NBA finals. I'm not even going to mention the fact that he won every single one of them. But show me an NBA final where Michael Jordan simply didn't show up. Show me an NBA Finals series where Michael Jordan simply didn't show up and wasn't the leading man on the biggest stage. There isn't one. Once he got there, he got a three-peat. Then his father was murdered. He took time off to fulfill his father's wishes and play baseball. He played baseball, came back in baseball shape, failed. Yes, Michael Jordan failed in 95 playing against the Orlando Magic because he only played 17 regular season games after missing 2 NBA seasons, pretty much. And then came back and destroyed the NBA for the next 3 straight seasons, getting another three-peat. So the guy got a three-peat, left for 2 years, came back, and got another three-peat. It's hard enough to get one three-peat, where LeBron James couldn't do that at all in his entire 23-year career so far. And, you could tell me and try to tell me, there's more competition in me. Bullshit. Michael Jordan had some great teams he went against with the Chicago Bulls. And he prevented many unbelievably great players from the possibility of winning a title. Even Hakeem Olajuwon, when he won those 2 titles when Michael was out of the NBA, in a later interview said that if Michael never left, I might be without any championships right now. But LeBron James, after his first stint in Cleveland, what did he do? He quit. He ran to Miami. As soon as Miami started struggling, he wasn't going to stay around and just, tough it out and wait a season or two to build up the team again for the guys to get healthy or whatever. He wasn't going to do that. He ran again. He ran to Cleveland because a young Kyrie Irving was there, and there was already rumblings of them getting Kevin Love. And Kevin Love was one of the top power forwards at that time in the NBA. Dude was scoring crazy numbers and getting like 20 rebounds. And then what did he do? As soon as Cleveland started struggling, like Brian Windhorst said, against the Golden State Warriors, he ran to the Los Angeles Lakers and got himself an Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis, at that time, switched to Clutch Sports as his agency and joined the Lakers. He requested to be traded to the Lakers. It's all been done that way. And now, when the Lakers didn't want him again, because they didn't want him, They basically didn't give him an extension. He had no choice but to leave. What did he do? He chooses the easiest option to win with the Philadelphia 76ers, who have now 3 of the top 10 NBA scorers currently in the NBA. If you look at the top 10 NBA scorers in the NBA right now for last season, 3 of them are on LeBron James's team. 3. What can you say? That's what LeBron James done all of his career, and that clip that I just showed you explains it and shows it perfectly. So let me know what you guys think. Did you like the clip or not? I thought I had to feature it in here because it's great for describing LeBron James and his approach to his NBA career. And if you like it, share it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.